I think the EC has always maintained that the kits were disposed as a result of reports that we had before us. In 2018, when we assumed the position as the commission, we had before us some correspondence from the original equipment manufacturers, as well. That is the HSB Identification Limited, and then the managers of our biometric infrastructure, that is STL, to the effect that our kits were obsolete. And they mentioned that the equipment had reached end of life, which means that there were no parts available to service them. We had before us a notification for the award of a contract to refurbish those kits to the amount of 56 million United States dollars. So the question was whether to use that 56 million to refurbish obsolete kits or whether to use it to procure new kits. Interestingly, if you look at the budgets, the cost of refurbishing a biometric verification kit was more expensive than procuring a new one. And the commission, to enable it to arrive at this decision, invited a UNDP Canadian consultant who had advised the commission in 2011 when the decision was taken to go biometric. He was the one who came and put in place our biometric architecture, and then he supervised the procurement and everything. And so when we assumed office in 2018 and we were confronted as to whether to spend $56 million to refurbish kits that were obsolete, we invited him in and he spent some 10 days with us. And he, at the end of the day, noted that the kits were obsolete and the maintenance of them had reached unsustainable levels. With that before us, we then took the decision to procure a brand new biometric voter management system for the commission, comprising some 74,000 plus biometric verification devices, 8,500 biometric registration devices, a data center, and a disaster recovery center. All that was done at a cost of 68 million United States dollars. 68 million United States dollars. And I'd like to add that the $56 million that was earmarked to be used to refurbish obsolete kits, $51 million out of that was used towards the procurement of this new infrastructure. So 51 million United States dollars was used towards the procurement of this brand new infrastructure, comprising a data center and a disaster recovery site, 74,000 plus pieces of biometric verification devices, and 8,500 registration kits. And so if you ask me, who in their right mind would use millions of dollars to refurbish kits that have reached their end of life when you can use the money for, the long term? And in particular, is that the kits, the $56 million was just for us to get by to conduct the referendum in the 6 regions and the DLE. It was to get by. And after that, you do away with it. It was just for 2018 and 2019. And once you get to 2020, you do away with it and rehaul completely your biometric verification management systems. To date, the equipment that we use is robust. Our data centers are robust, and they will last us for a long term. As mentioned, this was the state of affairs that we met. In addition to that, the commission invited Laxton Limited, a reputable company that builds biometric and builds and produces biometric equipment. And they also visited us and confirmed that our kits were obsolete. Based with that information, the Commission took the decision to auction the kits. And the process is simple. Before it did that, I informed the state valuer and provided them with a list of the items to be auctioned. They then, at the instance of the Commission, inspected all the equipment and put a cost to it. Armed with this, we then wrote to the Ministry of Finance to seek their approval to auction the items, which they then gave us. It was after this that the Commission invited an auctioneer to come and auction the items. And the recycling company procured those items, and the funds from the sale were lodged into the consolidated fund. So this is, and so we refute allegations that the kits were in good condition and that they were auctioned clandestinely and secretly. We refute. The equipment manufacturers, the managers, the biometric consultants who had advised the Commission, and producers of similar devices, Laxton Limited, all, all indicated that the kits were obsolete and had reached end of life. And this is what led to their being auctioned. Indeed, if you look at in one of the correspondence from the managers, they said 47% of the BVRs had failure rate in the 2016 election, and they were saying that for years later, it was very likely that they would fail even more, and it would put our elections at risk. It is for that reason that the Commission took the prudent decision to auction the equipment.